That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, I need to talk about something very important that I've kind of realized I haven't discussed in a video before. We talk about it in the live streams all the time, but guys, please stop calling me Flock. I am not Flock. We are all part of the Fantasy Flock Network. Yes, I am making videos, but we are all in this together. So please, guys, when you go down to the comment section, not only ask your fantasy football questions, but please also answer others. I mean, guys, I guarantee you probably don't have the people in your league watching this channel. You are completely fine. We are small enough where I promise you, you don't have to give away any of your secret sauce. We are just trying to help each other in our own fantasy football leagues. And I spend so much time making these videos. I spend so much time answering questions on Patreon, answering questions during the live stream. I'm not able to get to the YouTube comment section to go down there and answer your questions. But still, please go down there and answer each other's. It's so important as we gear up for the fantasy football playoffs that we all have our teams exactly how we need them. All right, now that's it. I just wanted to remind everyone, I am not the flock. We are all a part of the flock. And yeah, let's get into it and let's talk about 5 wide receivers that are skyrocketing in fantasy football value going into week 13. And let's start it off with Robby Anderson. Now, I know Robby Anderson had a nice week 12. It was nothing spectacular, but if you understand one thing, it's that Robby Anderson is now the wide receiver 1 yet again on the Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore suffered an ankle injury at the very end of this past game. So with Robby Anderson, now he's stepping up into that role where he was already averaging about 8 targets a game. Now I think that we could see that target number spike up a little bit to possibly past 10 targets a game. And knowing that we're going to have Christian McCaffrey back to this offense soon, I think that defenses aren't going to be able to just go in there and key in on Robby Anderson, especially if we understand that Matt Rule and Joe Brady look like they may be one of the best coaching pairs we have currently at the NFL in terms of their offensive scheme, how they're able to go out there and be creative and get their wide receivers open, get them the ball. I think that Robby Anderson is now jumping up to being a high-end wide receiver 2, possibly even a low-end wide receiver 1. We can also throw Curtis Samuel into this mix if DJ Moore misses a significant portion of the season. If we have Curtis Samuel as an every down player for this offense, where they're going to be trying to force feed their skill positional players the ball, that's only going to be Robby Anderson, Curtis Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey. They really have nobody outside of that. Y'all know if you've been following our Dynasty Fantasy Football channel for a couple of years, yes, I liked Ian Thomas, their tight end, which came in the 2017 NFL draft class, highly athletic, a tight end that I thought had a lot of potential, but he's proven to be a complete dud. So the extra opportunity that DJ Moore is leaving in this offense is going to fall on the shoulders of both Robby Anderson and Curtis Samuel, and we need to take notice. We need to raise them up in our fantasy football leagues, but more specifically, Robby Anderson instead of Curtis Samuel, because I think when Christian McCaffrey comes back, we're going to see Christian McCaffrey take away some of that Curtis Samuel manufactured production out of the backfield. All right, so now let's get to our next wide receiver, someone that I completely missed on this past week, Allen Robinson. Y'all know with Allen Robinson, I said that I did not want to start him because of Jair Alexander. I really wanted nothing to do with Allen Robinson, yet there he went, 8 receptions, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 13 targets, completely smashing. We know that Allen Robinson has the talent. We know that he's going to be seeing about 30% of his team opportunity. So what we should have known is we should have known that makes him matchup proof, where he can go up against anybody in the NFL and he's going to have success, knowing that he's going to have just all of the targets in the Chicago Bears offense. And I want to point out something. Like I said last week, guys, Mitchell Trubisky is not going to be a downgrade to Allen Robinson. I mean, we know that Nick Foles was looking horrendous before the Nick Foles injury. I mean, I was about to come out here and say, why are we not seeing Trubisky just come out and be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears right out of their bye week? Yet here, Trubisky comes out, looks horrible, but that's what we expected. Nick Foles looked just as bad, in my opinion. So here with Allen Robinson, he's still going to be that high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1, knowing that he has all of the volume in the offense, knowing that he is one of the most talented wide receivers in the entire NFL, and the quarterback play is not getting significantly worse for him. All right, so now our next wide receiver, I don't want to talk about him too much, but please, guys, go down to the comments. Let me know where you rank him rest of season. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, probably the best performance we're going to see all of 2020. 13 receptions, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns, 15 targets. And what is disgusting about Tyreek Hill is he actually has a fantastic rest of season schedule where we would expect the Kansas City Chiefs to go out and have to throw the ball and have great success while doing so because they're the Kansas City Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes, I want to say it, is the best quarterback that we have ever seen. I don't care. I know somebody's going to come out here and say, oh, but Tom Brady's rings. No, Patrick Mahomes is doing things, if you just watch the game, that we have never seen any quarterback ever do with the arm strength, with the placement, with how he can escape the pocket. I mean, yes, Peyton Manning had great timing. Peyton Manning could put a ball anywhere he wanted, but we have never seen that combination of arm strength, those intangibles, and on top of that, the ability to scramble out of the pocket. Usually, you only get 2, not 3 of those things. Patrick Mahomes looks like he is truly a generational player. Tyreek Hill, his number 1 option on this offense. Tyreek Hill having that elite level speed where we know that he would be a difference maker on any offense. So please, guys, go down to the comment section. Let me know if you would rather have Devontae Adams or if you would rather have Tyreek Hill and why. I just don't want to hear just the players' names. I want you to give me a couple sentences on why you would rank one over the other, because Tyreek Hill right now looks like he's surging in fantasy football, especially given his rest of season schedule. And it looks hilarious that I ranked Keenan Allen as the wide receiver 2 in the rest of season rankings this past week. All right, so now let's get to our next wide receiver, someone that we've maintained our stance on as one of the highest fantasy football YouTubers on him. Will Fuller, completely smashing on Thanksgiving. 6 receptions, almost 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only doing this on 7 targets. I mean, how many wide receivers in the NFL would be able to have this type of production on 7 targets? Very similar to Tyreek Hill, playing with truly an elite quarterback. I mean, go and look at the difference between this Houston Texans offense with Bill O'Brien and without Bill O'Brien. It is a night and day difference. Will Fuller is out here, that dominant wide receiver 1 target. I don't know how many times I've had to go through and give this rationale, but anyway, Will Fuller going out there and getting 25% of his team's targets, and we know that he has a very high level of career efficiency, so that's not only going to have him with a really high ceiling in fantasy football, but also a very nice floor, something that we have not seen in Will Fuller's past. And everybody who told us that we were stupid coming into the year because we wanted to target him in our fantasy football drafts, everybody telling us, oh, he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. Okay, Mr. Doctor, clearly, Will Fuller's out here just rolling, and I promise you, if you are going up against Will Fuller coming up, you are going to be scared. All right, so now our next wide receiver, someone that I said was a top 5 wide receiver this week, someone I told you, do not ask me about anybody to start over them because they're going to be my answer. Y'all know if you've been in the live streams. Justin Jefferson coming out here, getting all of the volume in Minnesota. I thought that they were actually going to lean on Dalvin Cook a little bit more than they did this game. Justin Jefferson seeing 13 targets, 2 touchdowns, 70 yards, and 7 receptions. Now, this game is very nice for Justin Jefferson because up until this point, he had been producing on very little volume, but the efficiency was through the roof. So it's nice to know that it's in his range of outcomes, that if we see Adam Thielen missing a game, we could see Justin Jefferson stepping up into a wide receiver role where he is just going to be getting all of the volume in the offense, something I did not expect, but we are going to welcome it. We are going to understand the fact that Justin Jefferson looks like possibly one of the most talented rookie wide receivers that we have ever seen. He's 21 years old. I mean, this man is younger than I am, and he's dominating in the NFL while I'm sitting on my butt making a fantasy football podcast. Honestly, just embarrassing in my opinion. Regardless, though, I mean, Justin Jefferson, a wide receiver that I think we can safely say is a high-end wide receiver 2 rest of season. Y'all laughed whenever I said Justin Jefferson was the wide receiver 1 in Minnesota, but I think based on this performance, we can all agree that it is in his range of outcomes to continue to progress in this offense, to continue to add things to his game as his rookie season goes on. And with Justin Jefferson, I really want him, especially in Dynasty Fantasy Football. All right. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. And I hope I'll see y'all in the live stream sometime this week. I should be live streaming every single night at 9 p.m. Central, except on Monday, where we will go after the game. But thank y'all, and I hope to see you there.